Welcome everyone to the sixth episode of the Campus Insider. Everything today we would be covering everything about Shaheed Sukhdev, and the courses we are covering is BMS and BBA FIA. I am Sanika Mate, your friend, your guide, and your mentor, and we would be discussing everything today about the management courses for Shaheed Sukhdev for the UG programs, which is BBA FIA and the BMS. Okay. Today we have Shobhit Agarwala with us, Falak Kalra, and Drishti Sahewal. We would start with a little, introduction from their side. So, Shobhit, can you please introduce yourself to my students?
Hi everyone, I am Shobhit, a third year student at Shaheed Sukhdev, pursuing BBA FIA, and I'm from Guwahati, so I'm actually an outstation student, currently residing in Sukhdev.
Great. Falak, please introduce yourself.
Right. Hi everyone, I'm Falak Kalra and I'm currently pursuing BMS from Shaheed Sukhdev. I'm a second year student currently, and I live and reside in Delhi itself, so I'm not an outstation student, and that too very close to Rohini.
Yes, Drishti.
Hi, so I'm Drishti. I'm currently a second year student pursuing Bachelor's of Management Studies from Shaheed Sukhdev. I'm from Jaipur, Rajasthan. So yeah, an outstation student.
Wow. So we have got a very good mix. We have one student coming from Guwahati, Jaipur, and then we have a Delhiitan herself who would be able to give us a good perspective. In fact, all three of you would be able to provide us a very good perspective for students who would be actually, outstation students who are looking at right now, whose goal is studying in Shaheed Sukhdev. Okay. Now, before we start with the session, as I always ask my student about Shaheed Sukhdev, so I realize that a lot of you are not aware about a lot about the Shaheed Sukhdev College of, College of Business Studies. So what we'll do is we'll start with a little introduction about the Shaheed Sukhdev College of Business Studies, what it will, a lot of questions will be answered with this introduction. Okay. So if you want to add, Falak, Drishti, Shobhit, if you wish to add something to the introduction which I'm giving, please, you're all are most welcome. Okay. So starting with the Shaheed Sukhdev College of Business Studies, it is located in Delhi, as Falak said, Rohini. It was established way back in 1987. One of the top colleges in, if you look at the NIRF ranking for this particular college, is around 92, which is well within 100, which is very, very good. And it clearly shows the reputation of this particular college. For you to enter this particular college, you would require to give a test, which is the CUET. Okay. Now, this particular test, you will have to, it will be a, I'm sure everybody must have done the research or must have gone some, took some information about CUET. This particular test, you will have to give one language, mathematics, applied mathematics in the list A. In the second section, you will have to do a general test where mathematics would be mandatory. If you take admission in Shaheed Sukhdev College of Business Studies, the course fee would be approximately around 26,000 to 30,000. Okay, and the final selection is based on the test rank. There are around 300 seats for the Bachelor of Business Management Studies. That's exactly the total number of seats they have. And again, somebody asked in the Q&A box about the mathematics. Mathematics is mandatory if you wish to take or if you wish to study in Shaheed Sukhdev. So if you have not taken mathematics, I'm sorry, my friends, that will not be the right college what you should be aiming for. Okay. For the BBA, which is the FIA program, they have around 148 seats. And for BSc students who are looking at computer science, they have around 78 seats. Okay. You will have to clear your 12th with at least 60%. That's for the general category. And, for the general students and for the category students, the eligibility is around 55%. So if you have around 55% and if you're a category student, yes, you would be able to apply. And if you have around 60% and above, then you would be able to apply. Again, the important aspect here is mathematics is mandatory. Somebody has asked me about the cutoffs as well for Shaheed Sukhdev. So the cutoff for 2023 for the BAC, which was the computer science, for general category, it was around 672. And for the category students, it was around 651. For BMS and BBA FIA, for general it was 576, and for category it was around 558. Okay, so this is the small information which would kind of give you an understanding, and I hope it answers a lot of questions for you about the Shaheed Sukhdev College of Business Studies. Okay, now without any further delay, let's start with our questions to our panelists today who are joining us. And we have a lot of questions, as you know, I told all Falak, Drishti, and Shobit to you all. Starting with my first question, okay, uh, in regards with when you applied for Shaheed Sukhdev, right? When you opted for Shaheed Sukhdev, what were your options? Let's start with Drishti first with you. Okay, when you applied for Shaheed Sukhdev, what was the options available for you, and then you decided to go with Shaheed Sukhdev?
Yeah, all right. So Shahid Sukhdev was never my dream college to be the first thing. I was aiming for IPM Indore. So I was on the waiting list for that category, and Delhi University was just a backup for me. So when the preferences came to be filled, so I just gave exams for these three, this general test, mathematics, and English. So because I was just aiming, because if I wanted to go for Delhi University, I would just go to Shahid Sukhdev and not any other college, not even SRCC. So that was the only college that I kept. Baki other colleges I felt just for as a backup, but I would not go if I would have been there. That was a risky choice, I would say. You should not do it, but I did it.
Wow. Okay. Uh, Falak, what about you?
Right. So my story is quite contrary to what Drishti said. So basically, I was also aiming for IPMAT Indore. However, I was in the waiting list for that. Then I secured admission at IIM Rohtak, but I did not join it because the CUET results were out, and I was pretty sure that I would get into one of the good colleges. So my options basically were SRCC or Stephens in Eco Honors versus Shaheed Sukhdev, BMS or BFI at Shaheed Sukhdev. And why exactly I chose Shaheed Sukhdev was because of the course structure here. So what I believed was a course like BMS or BFIA that basically offers you a more hands-on experience would actually be more beneficial when I decide to pursue MBA later. So I wanted to pursue MBA right after my graduation, and that basically aligned with the course structure here. So that was the major rationale behind taking Shaheed Sukhdev.
Okay. So, Shobit, what is your story?
So in my year, actually, we did not get the opportunity to give the boards. So I had to give the DUJAT separately as an entrance to get into Sukhdev. So I was getting BCom honors in Ramjas College, which is in of itself a very great option. But I felt that Sukhdev suited me better because of my interest in finance.
Okay. So all of you, some or the other way, wanted to have a kind of hands-on experience because MBA is what you all three are looking at. Correct? Okay. Now, as a if you're looking at as a college, you are doing FIA show with starting with you. Okay. What makes Shaheed Sukhdev stand out? What exactly is the unique quality which really which kind of was the deciding factor for you to join Shaheed Sukhdev?
Well, firstly, I'd like to point out that rankings do not give a true picture of what SSCBS really is, because it is one of the best, I'd say, undergraduate management colleges across Asia, not even the country. And the BBFI course that I'm currently doing, or the BMS people who go on to do, let's say, finance specializations, are studying in one of the best campuses for finance. It is known, let's say, throughout because of the, let's say, the peer learning or the teachers or the culture here, which promotes very high growth.
Falak, would you agree with Shobit? For you, was it a similar reason uh, to join a Shaheed Sukhdev, or you found something different, or from your end?
Right, ma'am. So basically, my reason was, first of all, the course structure, as I mentioned earlier. So it has approximately a 90% overlap with what is being taught at MBA right now. So that makes Shaheed Sukhdev not just a college, but a B school in itself. So that was the core reason. Secondly, also, as Shobhit talked about the culture here. So at Shaheed Sukhdev, you would not find students who are not passionate enough. So here, the entire batch of, say, 500 students is equally motivated to be the best. That inherently drives you to become better each day. So that is, I think, the core difference between other not campus colleges and, say, Shaheed Sukhdev. That makes it stand out, or the students stand out.
Great. Drishti, last but not the least, this is one of your dream colleges you mentioned. Have you done your research correctly? And is it the same thing, the uniqueness of this particular college you found it? Can we have, can you please share your experience?
Exactly, as Falak already mentioned, every student is competitive in himself or herself. You just cannot stop doing things. You just see the other person around you and you feel ki ha ye bhi kar raha hai, even I have to do it. So that's the kind of competitive culture you find here. So I think that's what I wanted.
Okay, so there is a lot of peer-to-peer learning.
Exactly.
That's what I understand, that you have everybody with a similar kind of zeal, with similar kind of passion, and they all have that passion to do something and to create something for themselves, a good future, and they all are working towards it, and that's why there is that kind of passion, and as you said, that everybody is onto something. Great. Now tell me something, when it comes to the college is concerned, how exactly your day looks like. Drishti, starting with you, what exactly your day looks like?
Okay, so mostly we have classes from 9 to 5, and after that we
9
go
to
for
5
yeah 9 to 5 mostly, but sometimes it's just 9 to 3 or 9 to 1, and depending on the timetable of every course. So after 9 to 5 classes, we just go to the society work, then academics work, assignments, and sometimes you find a leisure time for yourself. You do what you want to do. Like but it's very hectic.
Yeah, clearly 9 to 5 is equivalent to the working hours for a person who is working. Okay, Shobit, for FIA, is it the same? 9 to 5?
It was the same for me in my second year, but since I belong to the older course, the first year and third year is less hectic. It's just 9 to 2 or 9 to 1.
9 to 2 or 9 to 1. Okay. So, what exactly the attendance looks like? Falak, if you can enlighten us about the attendance aspect.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, the attendance policy at the college is quite strict. So, basically, we are required to maintain a 67% attendance, and only beyond that are we given marks. So, there are brackets for marks, 0 to 5 marks, depending on what attendance we have. And as far as the proxies are concerned, I found it really difficult to get proxies marked as of now, and have been really unsuccessful at it. So, I think the attendance is a major problem here.
Oh, okay. So proxies भी नहीं हो पा रही है. Shobit, what exactly your take? I mean, proxies हो पा रहे तुम्हारे, और वो जो percentage फलक ने बोला, are you able to manage, or is it different for FIA?
No, it's the same across both the courses. And no, there's no scope for proxies here, actually. And I believe it's attending classes is really important because it contributes even that small segment of 5 marks. It can be the difference between getting a 9 or a 10 on your grade point, and which actually matters in the earlier stages as well, because of shortlist for internships, or let's say placements, or even for getting that full marks on your CAT entrance for different IIMs.
Okay. So when we are looking at, a strict policy for attendance, and some passionate students, the whole batch looks like being very passionate. Now, what I want to understand is, when you start with your first year, okay, what exactly are the subjects which you study? Rishi, would you be able to help us with the subjects you study in the first year of BMS?
Yeah, sure. For the BMS, in the first semester, we studied financial accounting and analysis. We studied mm, fundamentals of management, statistics for business decisions. These were the three main course, and we had to choose one G, that is general elective, and the three other subjects like EVS and ऐसे फालतू के subjects. And then for the second sem, we had the second sem we had 3 main subjects as we had microeconomics. Then we had like okay, in the third sem we have organizational behavior too. Then cost and management accounting. So these were the course that we had, and again one general elective like IT and data analysis skills and everything.
Okay. Okay.
Not able to exactly recall. I'm so sorry for that.
That's okay. First year make the subject, so definitely. And now, if you listen to the subjects, okay, you know why mathematics is something which is important here. There is a reason for mathematics being important, and it's very clear looking and listening to the subjects why mathematics is such a crucial or mandatory subject what we are looking at. Okay. Falak, would you be able to help us out with the second year for the BMS subject? Is it the same or is there any difference?
Ma'am, currently, basically, we've just entered the sem 3 or the second year. So we've started with organizational behavior. We've started with project appraisal, which is basically, talking about how projects are exactly taking place in real life. Then we also have subjects like Python or data analysis. So those are the subjects that are very crucial, I believe. And as far as the number of subjects was concerned, after NEP, we have 7 subjects in each semester. So we have 3 core subjects that are that were also present in the course earlier. Then 1 elective, followed by 3 other electives. Now the 3 other electives are languages or subjects like EVS. So 7 subjects each semester.
7 subjects each semester. All right. Shobit, for BBA FIA, is it, because you mentioned that you are in your old course. So is there any changes in terms of subject because it is finance? Is it more focused on, on the subjects? Can you provide us with the breakup of the subjects you are, you have studied for the first and the second year?
So in my old course, it was the 4 subjects minus the 3 extra subjects that Drishti mentioned. So it was actually introduction to, let's say, marketing management, microeconomics, English. We had 1 semester, first semester, EVS in the second semester, and there was financial accounting and analysis for our first semester. In our second semester, we had statistics for business decisions. Then, as I said, EVS. We also had cost and management accounting, and then database management systems. Then this is pretty similar across BBA, FIA, and BMS. The only advantage that BBA FIA has over, let's say, a person taking BMS finance or finance specialization in the third year is we have 2 extra finance subjects. So in my third year, so first and second year, we have, let's say, a variety of management subjects which cover different domains, let's say statistics, accounting, or let's say corporate finance, general management subjects. But in the third year, we have specialized finance subjects like derivatives, investment analysis, and portfolio management, valuation. So on this aspect, I'd say a person who wishes to get into finance gets more exposure taking up BBA FIA over a BMS. But a BMS also gives you more breadth in terms of, let's say, HR and human resources management or other general management practices, which might not be available to BBA FIA pursuits.
Okay. But when it comes to the, when I'm listening to the subjects, what is covering and what exactly, it is more practical is what I am able to understand. So a management studies program is focusing more on a management where they are trying to cover all the aspects of management studies, while the FIA program is actually very practically focusing on the finance aspect of a student, making sure that even after the 3-year program, the student would be possibly, would have a good content, the depth of the content which is ideally required for him to study, which is very nice. Now, when it comes to examinations, I mean, definitely the subjects what you have, you all mentioned, what exactly the semester looks like? Is it 6 monthly? Shobit, you can let us know about FIA.
Yeah, it's same, I guess, for BMS and BFI. So it's
okay.
6 months. We have exams at the end of every 6 months. Our semester was a bit late. So we had a few short semesters in the beginning, but it got caught up when the new batch ended. So it's normal.
Okay. So Falak, can you help us in regards with the grading? मतलब एग्जाम्स बहुत टफ होते हैं.
I think Drishti would be the right person to ask given her GPA. But as far as I know, so basically they usually say that the length of the answers matter in due exams. But from what I've personally, realized during the semester is also the content you write or the neatness with which you write, the accuracy with which you write. So that also matters. As far as the exams in themselves are concerned, I don't think the exam pattern is very difficult per se, because we have options in the exam, or say we just have to attempt 5 questions but 15 markers. So you need to know your content right in order to answer those questions.
Okay, you just mentioned that this question need to be asked to Drishti. I am very curious to know, Drishti, what's up with the CGPA? I mean, what's your CGPA?
It's 9.55.
Oh, wow. So I'm sure your exams are going pretty well. So can you give us more information in regards with that?
Uh,
Anything you would like to add to what Palak has said?
yeah, I think you just not only need to study at the end of the exams, you just need to go through the entire year. You need to be consistent with your academics. For this, there has also been a new system engaged, like there are tutored classes and are practical classes, and every assignment or any kind of activity is given to you, and you are graded on the basis of your internal markings too. And now the internals are given more weightage than the actual written exam what you have at the end of the year. So I think that's one point where it can help you to be consistent.
Okay. Now exams, we covered the academic aspect, we covered the examination. What about the specialization? Which year you get the opportunity of selecting the specialization? No, I'm certain it's not in the first year, and with a lot of colleges they do give the option in the second year. So is it similar to for Shaheed Sukhdev as well? Do they allow you to uh, select your specialization in the second year? Shobhit, starting with you.
So I don't have that option because my course is a specialized finance course, but I believe Falak and Drishti would be better suited to answer this.
Okay. Uh, Falak and Drishti, please help us with the answer. Falak, please let us know.
Yes, ma'am. So we are given the option in the third year of the selecting our specialization. So
Okay.
one year, the last year, the third year is a specialized one, while the other two are aimed at general understanding of management.
Okay. So in that case, when it comes to the national education policies concerned, you guys mentioned that according to that, now semesters are looking different. Okay. So Shahid Sukhdev is giving the option for the fourth year where you can, take the honors in the fourth year. Drishti?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
ma'am. So basically, we have not really experienced the option as of now. Like we have not really filled out our choices, but we are given the option of pursuing a BMS either with research degree or with some internship or a long-term project degree for the fourth year.
And then you will be awarded BMS honors for the degree what you take in the fourth year. Fantastic. Now you know, coming to the subjects, we were talking about the subjects and you all three gave me a very clear-cut information on it. What I wanted to understand is what exactly your strength in subjects are. Shobit, starting with you, with BBA FIA, you have already taken your, your strength, which is, your specialization. What exactly your strength are in that particular subject? What are the subjects you prefer?
So I really prefer the finance specialization subjects that I'm actually getting now in my fifth semester, and a taste of which I got in my, let's say, third semester. So subjects like corporate finance or valuation. And I did in part struggle a bit with the statistics part of the thing, the statistical subjects like statistics for business decisions. And this is where the role of math comes in, because those subjects are really important for building a foundation for other financial concepts. So math, I'd say, is really important for this course as a whole.
Okay. What about the BMS? As in, both of you, Falak, would you be able to help us with your favorite subjects? Subjects you are what is your strength?
Yes, ma'am. So basically, I really like doing accounting-based subjects, so cost and management accounting and financial accounting analysis, along with subjects involving maths. So I was good at stats and production and inventory management, while I did not find very theoretical subjects like organizational behavior. They were subjects that I struggled at.
Okay. Drishti, am I questioned right to you with the CGPA you have? Do you have any, favorite subjects, or your love for all the subjects is the
No,
same?
no, that's not the point. Even I love subjects that are based on mathematics or that involve maths, like statistics or production and inventory management, as Falak mentioned. And I did not like theoretical based subjects like organizational behavior or fundamentals of management, because you need to just mug up things and you need to just keep in mind the main pointers that you have. So I did not like doing it.
So your 0.5 CGPA is actually going away because of the theoretical subjects. So students, I hope you understand that maintaining a 9.5 CGPA is not really a easy task. Once you go, to the other side of the fence, you would understand what exactly, I am referring to. Now, moving to the next question and talking about the projects. Okay, considering it's a management program and they are taking, they are looking at the management aspect. Is there a role of projects in the whole course? Drishti, uh, if you can help us with what exactly projects or how many projects you do in, for in 2 years, how many projects you have worked on?
All right, so things were different for the first semester, and then it became different for the second semester. For the first semester, we were given semester end projects where we needed to work on, for example, a research paper for the fundamentals of management. That was just one single paper that we worked on for the whole semester. But for the second semester, we had many, as I already mentioned, there were tutored classes or there were practical classes in which we were given assignments or activities continuously and regularly. And we also worked on the year end projects. So the second semester, we worked on a lot more projects than the first one, and I think things will go on like we had in the second semester. So we'll have a lot of more projects coming on.
Great. For the FIA program, Shobit, would you be able to help us? Is it a similar approach for the finance program as well in Shaheed Sukhdev?
Yeah, we have projects like throughout the year. Every semester, you could expect one research project in the early years. Let's say in the first year and the second year, every semester, I'd say one research project was the norm. But in the third year, it is not so, I'd say. We have different assignments, which might not necessarily entail research.
Okay. When it comes to the faculty, okay, with such a rigorous program and such passionate students, it is very crucial to have a faculty which is very supportive. Okay. So, Shobit, with the FIA section, how exactly is the faculty, the quality of the faculty, or in terms of they being supportive? Can you give us some information on that?
I'd say the quality of the faculty is really, really good. Like you'd not find this at, I'd say, bar most of other campuses for finance, because that is the specialization that I am doing and I have seen. So in DU, you could say at most top tier colleges, you'd see that the books that you're referring to are written by the top professors who are teaching at those campus. So we refer to a books on valuation, and the professor teaches our sections. So that is the level of, let's say, depth we go into, because the professors themselves are very knowledgeable and they're very supportive throughout. Because even if you go to professors with things regarding, let's say, applications for foreign admissions, or let's say, yeah, you go to your teachers for, let's say, projects or guidance on competitions, case competitions, or different things, they're really supportive throughout and they want to push you to grow. So I believe this factor sets CBS apart from other colleges, which might where teachers might not be that involved, but here professors are very let's say involved hands-on with the students.
Okay. Falak, would you agree to that? Are you also experiencing the same with the BMS faculty?
Yes, ma'am. So basically, the permanent faculty here is very supportive, as Shobit rightly mentioned. Further, I have not really gone up to the stage where I need a bit help for the applications, but they're supportive in every sense. So basically, we're also allotted mentors every year, teacher mentors. So we can just reach out to them in case of any, any problem we face in college or otherwise.
Okay. Great. Now, coming to the semester one, semester question, I have a question here. The student is asking, how long is the semester? Drishti, can you help us with how long is the semester with Shaheed Sukhdev?
All right, so we have semesters for 6 months each, but due to this COVID and everything, the college started a bit late, and that's why it was just 3 to 4 months. But then we'll be back on track after the new batch comes in.
Okay, so Snehal, I hope you get the answer. It's 6 month semester. Now, with the college, a campus is a very, very integral part because that's where you learn a lot more than what you learn in the classroom. Okay, how exactly is there a campus? Is there a campus? You can call it a campus, Drishti? I like that smile. Okay. Um, yes, Drishti, we are waiting for the answer.
All right, so the infrastructure is quite good. Although we do not have a campus, we're not very well with the sports infrastructure, but I think in terms of classrooms and the auditorium and all the facilities, we're very good to go. Let's not talk about the campus, please.
Okay. Okay, let's not talk about the campus. Shobit, similar feelings, or would you like to kind of
I
give
would
it?
agree on Drishti with some points, but I disagree on the campus part. I believe we have only, let's say, 1,200 to 1,500 students. So our college actually has one of the lowest density across DU colleges. So we have very great infrastructure. Let's say there's a very big building and the infrastructure is really great. We have a small field. We have a field, but that I think does suffice for most of the activities that the student like to take part in. So yeah, there's that.
I really appreciate the answer you have given, which is the number, kind of just boiling it down to the data aspect of it. So very good point there, Shobit. Now, when we talk about campus, we also talk about, the hostel. Okay. So, Falak, this is something which possibly you can let us know what others talk about, but Shobit and Drishti, as you are outstation students, okay, uh, does Shaheed Sukhdev provide you with hostel facility?
Yeah,
Shobit,
it
starting
does.
with you.
Yeah. So it does, and the hostel is, let's say, relatively the infrastructure for the hostel is really very good, and you have always the hostel wardens who are there to help you out in case let's say you have any sort of issues, so it gets resolved within the same day itself. Like complaining if you have, let's say, some AC is leaking or some any other minor event. But I'm not a hostler, so I believe my hostler friends, they enjoy both the pros and cons of the hostel. Like sometimes, let's say, sometimes they might feel like ordering out, or they might feel the restrictions of coming back on time are too much for a college student. But the pros are also, it's really economical for outstation students. And you can just go to, let's say, it's very nearby, right? So you don't have to travel that much. You can just go back to your hostel rooms and sleep with between if you don't have a class or if you have a break. So that's always there.
Okay. Drishti, what about your point of view on this?
Yeah, so I'm a hostler. So I will be better be able to answer this. As Shobit already mentioned, the convenience part is the best which you can get in a hostel. The wardens and everything, they're quite helpful. The infrastructure is really good, and it's when I joined the college, I lived in a PG for almost a month because the hostels were allotted later on. So I can make a comparison out of them, and I would say that hostel is really, really good as compared to all the other PGs in Rohini. So the convenience part is definitely one thing which you can get at.
Okay. So the food aspect also for the hostel is taken care of. I mean, with Delhi, you can't complain about food because you get good food in Delhi. Is everybody? I think everybody knows that. But even the hostel food is something which is good.
Yeah, it's good. And for 1 week when you'll join the hostel, you will like the food. But after that,
Happens, definitely happens. Palak, I'm sure, apart from this Drishti's experience, you would have a lot of friends. So have you heard anybody kind of thinking it otherwise about the hostel, or is it the same convenience factor which everybody agrees upon?
Not only convenience, I feel another important aspect of students living in hostel is the safety. So basically, Rohini, considering the entire area, the PGs and other, facilities, living facilities in Rohini are not that good or not that safe. So basically, the hostel provides a very safe space for you to live in.
Okay. Is there any kind of a deadline for the hostel? For boys and for the girls? For the boys, Shobit, is there a deadline?
Yeah, I believe it's
it's
9 to
8:30.
10 p.m. Yeah, 10
It's
p.m.
8:30 for all.
8:30.
8:30 for all. Okay.
8:30 to get inside the campus, then 10 p.m. To get
To get
inside
inside
the
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 hostel.
lights off.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. 8:30 is pretty early, no? Okay. Okay, let's quickly take before we move to the next part of uh, the campus insider series. Let's take up questions. We have questions. Divyanshu is asking, how much time does a student get on a daily basis after assignment, class, etc. for hobbies? Falak, would you like to take up this particular question?
Yes, ma'am. So basically, I think the time you get depends on yourself only. So if you're a part, so basically, CBS has a lot of societies or student clubs to offer. So if you're a part of a number of clubs, say 3 to 4, you end up spending a lot of time working for those clubs or the activities of those clubs, then doing the assignments or doing the CAD part. And you don't really get a lot of time to, say, pursue your hobbies. However, what I feel is the student clubs you're a part of, they are your hobby. So if we talk in that sense, so you basically get 2 to 3 hours to pursue your hobbies in that particular sense.
Okay, both of you agree to that, Shobhit and Drishti? All right. Uh, I hope that answers the question. Snehal, is there any drawback of Shaheed Sukhdev College of Business Studies being an off-campus college as compared to North Campus colleges? Uh, who would like to take up this question? Shobit, you were like really moving your head. Please.
So the I'd say the North Campus is a hub because there are so many colleges nearby and there are so many students, let's say, loitering around, or there are so many things for students to do because there's, let's say, the Hudson Lane, or there might be so many there's always something or the other happening inside the North Campus area for the student to experience. But what CBS lacks for in that aspect, it makes up for in of itself, because you never get time, I'd say, to go around and get these things. If you're actually working on yourself inside CBS, even if you're enjoying with friends, let's say it's very structured. You are either working or you're enjoying or you're resting. So that sort of discipline does get you in when you get into CBS. So I'd say, yeah, that
Okay.
answers.
That definitely. Any different thoughts, Drishti, Falak? You agree? Okay. Now coming to the fun aspect of the campus. Okay. Uh, as you said around 1,200 odd students. Festivals. How many festivals are there? And clubs. So we would want to know about festivals and the clubs. Drishti, please let us know about the festivals which happen with Shaheed Sukhdev.
All right. So we have a major annual fest that is Crescendo.
Okay.
That is organized in around January, February, something. Uh, for for other activities, we student council is there to organize many activities like the Bollywood Day or the freshers and everything. But the major festival, the major event that we have is Crescendo. For the clubs and activities part, we have around 50 plus societies in the college. So one gets to experience all the aspects of like whatever their hobbies are. They could experience everything.
Okay. When it comes to the clubs are concerned, Shobhit, uh, is there an option to join the clubs? Like, is there any kind of a criteria, or if you are interested in a club, you can just join the club?
I believe clubs in CBS are very selective. So it's like you also have to be interested in the club, and the club also has to be interested in you. It's a very two-way street, and these are kind of, I'd say, um, the culture in CBS is based around these societies or clubs, as we call them, because there are, let's say, numerous clubs which organize events. In addition to the crescendo, the annual fest of the college, there might be 5 to 10 other clubs which organize their own annual events. So that also adds some flavor and some things for the CBS to engage themselves in. Then there might be multiple societies for consulting, for finance, for marketing, for let's say other things also, which leads to your development. So there are also very good um, artistic clubs. Like there might be the debating society, or there might be the arts club, or there might be the literary society. All of these societies are equally as well, because they provide a student, the opportunity to meet like-minded people. It's this intelligent discourse, I'd say, which I can have with a person over finance or any other topic, which I meet at CBS, that sets it apart.
Okay. Falak, are you a part of any club, or as they call society?
Yes, ma'am. Basically, so currently I'm a part of 3 societies here at CBS. And what I feel basically is that societies, first of all, if you see from a very, CV oriented perspective per se, then first of all, societies offer you a lot of opportunities. So basically my CV when I joined CBS versus 1 year later when I'm in the second year, entire of my CV is society centric. Say something I've got out of the society. So that is the kind of learning that they offer to you. Secondly, what I feel is, as Shobit rightly mentioned, so societies also offer you a chance to interact with like-minded individuals. So that actually enhances the peer-to-peer learning aspect that exists at CBS. So that is all I can add about it.
Okay. Drishti, would you agree to what Falak is saying? Are you a part, in fact, to start with, are you a part of any clubs? And is it helping you?
Exactly. I was a part of 3 societies. I left because I wasn't able to manage things. And then currently I'm a part of 2 societies, and I think that is helping me.
Okay. What about you, Shobit? Are you attached to any society in Shaheed Sukhdev?
Yeah, I'm a part of one society, that is the finance society. So, it's everything finance in my profile. I guess that's it. But yeah, I was in the marketing society also, and that is also, I also enjoyed my experience there. But to, let's say, manage things better in my second year, I just left that and prioritized the finance society.
Okay, okay. So when it comes to the crescendo, you mentioned that the festival is crescendo. So it's a societies or all the students. So in the first year, are you allowed to be a part of the society? Is there any kind of a criteria? You can. Great. Now, apart from the fun aspect of it, something very crucial which everybody would want to know, okay, which is the internship aspect. The practical learning. That's what I'm understanding from all three of you, that Shaheed Sukhdev is more focused on. So when does the internship aspect start for Shaheed Sukhdev? Drishti, if you can help us out, when does the internship aspect start?
So there's one summer internship that you need to undertake necessarily in your second year. Apart from that, students at Shades of the as we already mentioned, they're very, very competitive. So they start mining for internships right from the first year itself. They go for online internships, and as was the case with seniors, they had online, so that helped them better. So in the first year, and in the second year itself, before the summer internship, many of them undergo many internships. So you'll find most of the people with around 2 to 3 internships average on their CVs.
Okay. Palak, what exactly would be the criteria for internship?
Uh, I'm not exactly aware about the criteria,
Okay.
but yes, ma'am, I think Drishti and Shobit can take it up.
Shobit, would you be able to, or are you aware about any kind of a
Yeah.
criteria?
So
Please.
I believe their internship season is in October, so they would be just facing it right afterwards. So we don't generally have a criteria. So companies come. It's very similar to the placement process. We apply via our CBS email ID. we get the application link, and there might be, let's say, finance companies or consulting companies or marketing companies for internships, and each company has its own separate process. So the role of the college or the CDC or the placement cell is to facilitate the first point of contact, and I believe then the company takes it up. Like some companies have aptitude tests as the first round, then they might have second or third technical interviews. Like consulting companies might have case interviews or guess estimates, and then there might be HR interviews as well, or you might be asked for group discussions, and this can be held both online or offline. And the summer internship process officially starts off, let's say, late October, I believe September, October, or after Diwali. But the CDC provides you internships throughout, but the summer ones are the ones to watch out for.
Okay. When it comes to the internships, now, Shobit, if I understand correctly, you have already done the second year internship. What was your experience?
I really had a very, very good experience, I'd say, because first I did another internship which was online with EY. So I got this opportunity after winning a competition which was also provided through my college only. Like the college provided me of a case competition, EY CAFTA, and I had the opportunity to win it. So I was awarded, let's say, an internship with EY, and that was completely online. But second, for the summer internship thing, I went with an offline thing with Kroll, which was formerly Duff and Films at Mumbai. So I actually traveled there 2 months and worked in office. And I really enjoyed the learning that one could have inside an office, because I was exposed to the corporate atmosphere totally. It's the buzzword here is corporate exposure. You know, CBS sites constantly tell that CBS is famous for corporate exposure. So I interacted with, let's say, industry professionals. I could chat with them even regarding work or non-work things, and they could guide you, let's say, one step ahead of other, let's say, relatively other options which you might have, because it is so oriented towards the your corporate learning. You are already better at, let's say, the learning, understanding the theoretical and practical aspects of your work, or improving your resume, or improving your networking skills, or speaking, reaching out to people, so that you can improve your own career prospects in the long run.
Wow, that's definitely a very in-depth information. So I'm sure now students would not have any questions related to internship. So basically, practical learning is what I look at. And it is nice to hear that there is a lot of support as well, which the college is ready to provide to the students. Now, after internships, okay, the next question is obviously about the placements. Okay. So by when are you supposed to enroll? Is there any placement cell? I'm sure normally all the colleges do have placement cell. So what exactly is the process for placement? Drishti, can you help us with the placement aspect?
Yeah, so we have a placement cell, that is Career Development Center. And firstly, the students are asked to register themselves if they wish to sit for the placement season, and there is a certain criteria. They need to have a minimum CGPA till third or fourth semester, whichever the result comes in, and they need to mandatorily have a summer internship in their second year, after which only they are allowed to sit for the placements. And then we just start with the process from September or October. The placement season starts from there.
Okay, so okay, September or October. Okay, so Falak, what is the minimum CGPA required for a student to apply for a placement?
Ma'am, again, I think it changes, from every year. It is just changes from every year. However, it's just safe to maintain an 8.5 GPA.
Okay, 8.5. Shobit, you would be going for your September, October, so you're almost due for actually going for the placement season. Okay. Would you be able to help us with the companies apart from EY? EY again, Ernst and Young. If people have not really got EY, what does that mean? I would encourage every one of you to kindly research about this particular company, one of the top companies you can work with. Apart from that, what other companies or which other companies come for the placement, Shobit?
So I'd say the crowning aspect of our college in regard of placements is that we had BCG front end coming on campus last year, but this year I believe there's a sort of a consulting downturn. The industry itself is affected, but from next year onwards, and by the time these guys enroll, let's say 2 or 3 of the MBBs, the top tier consulting firms, front-end consulting firms might be coming onto campus, though they might hire, let's say, a very few in number, but that really speaks volumes of the quality present at CBS. And other than that, we also have really great opportunities in other domains also, like we have many opportunities for consulting companies. Like Bain is a very reputed a very reputed organization which hires from our campus. Then for finance roles, we have White Oak, or let's say D Shaw, which comes for both internships as well as final placements. We also have all of the big four, which come for usually valuation or M&A roles. We have, as I said, Silver Piston. This is a very niche company. So people might get to know about these once they enter into campus, but I don't think stressing about them before coming to college is a necessity. But be assured that CBS really has, let's say, a very good set of companies which come and recruit if you compare relative to other colleges at the same stage.
Okay. Now, a very important question. Okay. It is mentioned, okay, on their website as well, that Shaheed Sukhdev has 100% placement rate. So is it true? Drishti, is it true? Shobhit, if you can. Drishti, yes, please. Can you let us know about that?
Yeah, so all of the students who register themselves for to sit in the placement season, they all get placements. And even after they pass
Okay.
out, so we do provide them alumni opportunities floated for them.
Oh,
Yeah.
great. So when they mention that they have 100% placement in this college, it is a point which we need to understand, that if there is 40 students in the batch, now we are taking it as an assumption. Okay, the students, not all the 40 would be going ahead and taking the placement. There could be students who might want to study further, so they would drop out. But the students who are looking for a placement and who are requesting for a placement, they all will definitely get the placement. Even a passed out student will get the alumni opportunities, and that's what exactly the 100% placement means. Okay. Now, with this, I would like to take up questions we have here in Q&A. Okay. So, ma'am is asking, is it worth to relocate from Mumbai to Delhi for courses in Shaheed Sukhdev College? Now, ma'am, this particular question is very subjective. Okay. If it's something depending upon student to student, if you get a similar opportunity in NMIMS, which is again a very good college to go for, I don't think a student would actually move away from the hometown unless there are some other reasons. So this is a very subjective question. Mumbai itself has some real good colleges which student can join. NMIMS is just one of them which I'm naming. But again, NMIMS also has a similar placement opportunities. The skills you develop with NMIMS is very strong. So it again goes very subjective. Ma'am is also asking which college is better, Christ Central Campus or Shaheed Sukhdev with respect to placement. Okay. Ma'am, when it comes to Christ and Shaheed Sukhdev, which one is better? I think it will be comparing apple to oranges. Okay. You would not be able to compare colleges because they both are good in its own self. It completely depends upon the student's CGPA, because this is again a requirement for Christ itself. So I think it is again very subjective question. If the student is good, I think they would be able to secure a good placement with Christ, with NMIMS, with Shaheed Sukhdev, irrespective which college he would go for. Okay. Uh, Now, a very important question, again, coming to the placement aspect here. Is it mandatory to maintain a CGPA, a minimum CGPA?
Yeah, so actually,
Shobit?
as Falak said, 8.5 CGPA is, let's say, the standard that people aspire to maintain for getting, let's say, getting in with a good company. But CDC generally, the placement cell generally sets standards like you must have either 75% attendance or 7.5 CGPA. It was, as was the case in my year, to be eligible to sit for placements. So either of the two would satisfy the criteria.
Okay. What exactly, so we have a question now. This particular question, I'm sure we have discussed it earlier, but I think we have a student joining a little later. So a student is asking, is the crowd in Shaheed Sukhdev good? I would like to take the liberty here to kind of answer this particular question, Shobit, Falak, and Drishti. Uh, to just give you a perspective, Kian, about it, when you have a crowd which everybody student or all the students in the crowd would actually be scoring 90 and above. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? When you have a batch which is only of toppers in their respective schools, you can definitely say that the crowd what you are dealing or the kind of crowd you have in the college, they all are toppers in their own field. That is the reason why the passion is there. So if you're looking at a good crowd, yes, you will definitely learn a lot from your peers because everyone is coming in a way as a topper to this particular college from the respective colleges. 90 plus is what I think the minimum what you would find scores when it comes 12 scores are concerned. So I hope that answers your question, Kiande. And coming to the comparison part, Kaustav is asking, how would you compare BFIA at CBS with BSc Finance from NMIMS apart from the course fee? Now, how would you compare? Comparison can be done in a very simple manner. Look at the curriculum. Okay, how I would compare is not really, or how a mentor would compare a course would not really be the right answer. You have to understand that answers are something which are there in front of you and you will have to find because these all are subjective. Like Shobhit is very clear when he started speaking to us that his passion is finance, right? With Drishti and with Falak, management was the thing. What you need to understand is you need to get the curriculum, go onto their website, get the curriculum for both the programs and see आप फर्स्ट सेकेंड थर्ड ईयर में क्या पढ़ने वाले हो, आपका फोकस किस पे रहेगा, and you would get the answer that which one would be better. For NMIMS and for Shaheed Sukhdev, the placement aspect remains the same. They both are providing you good placements and good packages. So the the answers are something which you will have to find with a little bit of research aspect, Kaustav. In case if you need any support, any additional support in finding the curriculum, then you can connect with me on Telegram and I would be able to help you out कि कैसे करना है. But थोड़ा खुद research करोगे तो understanding better रहेगा. Bhumi is asking, what is the minimum CUET score to get in Shaheed Sukhdev College and what subjects are needed in CUET to get in BBA FIA? Okay, so this is something which I did mention at the start of the session, Bhumi. For the management studies, which is the BMS course, you will have to take one language, mathematics or applied mathematics, and general test. For FIA, it is the same. So one language, second would be mathematics or applied mathematics, and the third section will be the general test. So this is something what you would take. I hope that answers the question. And with this, anybody has questions, so please do ask the question. So any more questions? Because my questions are over. I have kind of covered everything which I was asked. I have a lot of questions where people are asking how to deal with, with the fact that you're not able to get into a good college. So Falak, you all three tried for IPM Indore, right? So jab nahi hua, how you dealt with it? Falak, can you help us like how to deal with, because one of my students is asking how to deal with not able to get into the target college.
Yes, ma'am. So basically, first of all, you you're bound to feel disappointed because like you worked hard for it and weren't able to get admission to a particular college. But what basically matters is you have to see that in the long term. Say if I was not able, you have to see that in the long term, your goals are, aligned with your college choice. So look for the next best alternative and then plan out your journey in such a manner that the end position remains the same. So say I was not able to get into IPMAT through IPMAT Indore, but I would work in such a manner that I'm able to pursue MBA from an at-par college, like I'm Indore.
So that's about it. That's how you handle, when it comes to failure is concerned. But what my suggestion would be that, this would be the time where you would apply for a lot of colleges. Okay. It's not, I'm sure someone will succeed, someone will not be able to make it to the college, but life doesn't end there. Whichever college you would go, my suggestion would be make the opportunity, make gold of that opportunity. Every college is good in itself. It's about how you use those opportunities for yourself. Okay, अगर IPM इंदौर नहीं हुआ इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि things are kind of just gonna come down crashing. That doesn't happen. Life moves on. Look out for opportunities for you and the best one. If not, whatever is available. But make sure that whatever you get, you make the gold out of it. Okay. And we have one more question. How's the campus life? Kian, we have answered this particular question a little while. थोड़े टाइम पहले ही हमने इस सवाल का जवाब दिया है. Can somebody replay this particular answer for Kian? Palak, can you please take this question?
Yes, ma'am. So basically, the campus life is, I would say, with a lot of motivated individuals, the campus life is, very fun. And as Shobit mentioned, structured. So you either just enjoy with friends or you're resting or you're really into acads or, finance or any hobby that you're into. Further, I would also like to add that, one special aspect about CBS is the seniors here. So seniors here are really supportive. And especially when they've gone through the entire process of, say, placements or the CAT prep, if I reach out to them today, I'm very sure that they'll help me out in the best way possible. So say if I reach out to Shobit today about the placement process, he'll make sure that he guides me to the, the fullest of his abilities.
Absolutely. So I hope, Kian, you understand, you get your answer there. Okay. Bhumi is asking again, is NIMS better or Shaheed Sukhdev better? Okay. Every college is good in itself. It's very subjective, Bhumi. Okay. Now, this subjective question can be answered on a one-on-one level. So it will be nice if you sit with a mentor and possibly decide what your requirement is and what the college is offering. And then you would be able to kind of get the answer in the right perspective. Okay. Is Shaheed Sukhdev offering economics, either BMS or either ways? No, right? Correct. So the question of specialization in economics would not stand here, Vanshika, because economics is not really a specialization which is offered by Shaheed Sukhdev. Thank you. Just wanted to thank you, Falak, Shobhit, and Drishti for joining the session today. Thank you so much for taking out time and doing this for us. And you all have a lovely day. All the best for your third year, and Shobhit for your placements and last semester.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. It was a great opportunity for all of us.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm glad. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye.